sorry to interrupt. We've got the most banging interview coming out tomorrow with Kevin Prince Boateng.
Yeah.
Like
He's been talking up the thing.
Listen, you thought you saw him talking on Vibe with 5. What we've got coming out tomorrow, Thursday, myself, Rio and Steve, mate, he talks about Messi being late. He talks about his fights with Seedorf. He talks about Pirlo telling him to shut his mouth. He talks about, like, honestly, he don't hold back. Guys, make sure you set your notifications on. 5 p.m. tomorrow, it is going down.
Joel told you what to do. Simple as that. There has been a lot that has gone on this week, to say the least, depending on who you support. Some people got wins and they're happy. You know what I mean? They needed it. Some people just tricking along nicely. Some people got their first loss of the season. And some other people have just been doing what they've been doing since the start, which is taking L's. So I'm pretty sure you lot can divvy out which one goes to what person. But joining us, I don't know why he's joining us, but he is. He's had his time. He's done his show on a Monday. He doesn't need to be here, but he is. Joel Bear, what are you saying? Why are you here?
Honestly, yeah, Danny, he's had he couldn't make it today. There's train strikes and stuff like that. It's really difficult.
Yeah, Joey said, it would have been 3.
And I just thought, let me just sit in. Me and you were talking on WhatsApp.
You can sit in from over there.
Yeah, no, it's cool, because we all have a WhatsApp group chat that for whatever reason
and you can sit in on that and listen to what I have to say on that.
Yeah,
but
I know.
Why do you have to be here now?
I love the take on. That's what it is.
Okay, you could have watched it after. And drop a like and comment like what these guys did.
Yeah, I'll do that again later on.
Yeah, okay. Of course, we've got Anton Ferdinand as well. Big smile on his face. You good?
I'm always good. I actually had to say to Flex before, do you want me to lead this after yesterday? Because he's in a bad way.
Distraught.
Of course. And good friend, Joey Knights. What are you saying?
Yes, what's happening? Good?
It's funny because Joey originally came on because you guys were going to carry on your argument about how are Man United in a worse situation than Chelsea. Bro, 6 days later.
Listen, a week is a long time in football.
7 days later.
Can I be honest? Obviously, we encourage everybody, right, in the comments to get involved. And I was looking at some of the 5 social posts when me and Joey were going at it. And the truth of the matter is, no one cared. They said crap versus crap.
Yeah, this is the thing. We were trying to argue over who's in a better position, but that's the wrong phrase, isn't it? It's just who's
in
not as bad. Yeah, who's not as bad.
Exactly.
Wow.
So
anyway, back to back
we just decided to, Joey doesn't know this yet, but we decided to call a truce on that and move on because Man United decided to do a madness and make it unanimous. But Joey comes from the boxing fraternity. It's a unanimous decision that Man United just went to the forefront and they picked up 2 wins since that, and they're
looking better than United.
So we got, and that's not on the agenda today. The agenda is 5 things that Manchester United must change. So I don't know if that should be 10 things. I don't know, but
do you want to start? Because obviously you got
not really.
It feels like you got a lot to say off the back of yesterday. So if you want to start, go ahead. Or do you want me to get involved in this?
No, I'll go. You can't shy away. You can't shy away. 5 things that need to change. Well, let's start at mentality. Let's just start at mentality, accountability. Firstly, the mentality of the players is disgraceful. It's disgusting. It's laughable at the moment. They can't handle emotional highs and they can't handle emotional lows. They're in highly emotional states during the game of key periods, i.e. you've just scored. They don't know how to handle that emotion, i.e. you've just conceded. They don't know how to handle that emotion. And mistakes are creeping into every single match.
By the way, they're the basics. As a professional, they are the basics. When you score, when you concede, there's protocols after that runs through a team.
Yep.
Or should do anyway.
Yeah.
Where you're told, okay, we've just scored, keep it tight, right? And keep the ball in their final third away from, because when you score, the adrenaline, it makes you vulnerable. It makes you start you can think of other things, which is why stuff happens where people make mistakes and they can see straight away. So there is actual protocols that you have in the dressing room that when you concede a goal, what do we do for the next 5-10 minutes?
But Man United this season, after every single time of scoring or conceding, have self-imploded. So many mistakes. So that's the first thing I'd say is the mentality.
Can you give us examples?
So, for example, if you're looking at Arsenal, we scored. Rashford, fantastic goal. 3 or 4 minutes later, The famous clip, yeah, Flex knew was going to happen, whatever. Odegaard's got the ball in the back of the net. Same game, we thought we'd won it. Close offside, stabilise, get out of there with a point. You know what? Not bad. Concede.
Even against Wolves, yeah, you didn't actually concede, but look at the amount of opportunities you give them after you score.
Right? Brighton, we concede after playing well for 20 minutes. We concede, yeah? Not going to say against the run of play because Brighton are good. They just had a good move and they scored. Yeah. We thought we'd scored for 1-1. The ball was out of play. Highly charged emotional point of the game. How do you respond? Concede within a couple of minutes of thinking you've scored. Last night, I'll say it again, 20 minutes in, 17 minutes in, Rashford to Højlund, fantastic goal. Dalot, one ball from Davinson Sanchez of all people, one lofted ball through, decision making, can't handle it. Get the game to 2-1 up. Fantastic second half. You score 2-1, Rasmus Højlund, fantastic goal. What do? Not manage the game emotionally correctly. Onana comes out and flaps at the ball, goes to Galatasaray player, he misses. Warning number 1. Handle, in that moment there, when there's been warning number 1, handle the emotions. Keep the ball, do the right things. What happens? A few minutes later, ball's in the back of the net. At 2-2, you're thinking, if you can just stabilise, go again. You're better than it. You can score. What happens? Don't handle it. Onana gives it straight to the player. Icardi, here's another one. Icardi misses. Yeah. Casemiro sent off. So you're thinking, oh my God, sent off and now he's probably going to score. He misses. Andre Onana giving it that. He misses. And then another emotional point of the game.
What do you give it? What do you give it? What do you give it?
There's no VAR replays around it, yeah? Just double tap back and you can see what he did, yeah? I ain't doing that, yeah? Okay. He misses, yeah? He celebrates. So you're thinking, you know what? Even with 10 men, yeah? Garnacho nearly scores when we got 10 men. What a block from the Galatasaray defender. Again, tails her up. Manage the emotion. 2 minutes later, ball's in the back of the net, 3-2. So it's a common theme. I saw Liverpool at Spurs, which we'll get onto a little bit in a while, down to 10 men. I saw Liverpool earlier in the season against Newcastle, down to 10 men. At Newcastle, what did they do? Stabilise. Work hard. Be compact. And still manage to score in their moments with 10 men, by the way. Then I saw them go down to 9 men. What did Klopp do? Went to a back 5, put 3 midfielders there. And they looked very, very stable, like they were going to get a draw. It's just unlucky.
You know why? Because you do that in training.
Right. So Man United, so this is a long-winded answer. We're only on number 1. Number 2, ruthlessness. Erik ten Hag needs to be even more ruthless than he already is. He's now at a crossroads.
How more ruthless can you be?
I'll tell you why.
Sancho's at home when he's probably not the only one that's training bad. You know? Like, end of the day, he's flipping, he's done everything he can. What do you mean he needs to be more ruthless?
No, you don't get to a certain ruthlessness.
He's got rid of David De Gea in an unemotional way.
Yeah, cool.
What are you talking about?
Great. All these things can mutually coexist. Just because one thing happens, it doesn't mean he has to stop on the other end. The manager being ruthless doesn't just stop after you make a few big decisions. If more decisions need to be made,
Ronaldo,
you need to make them. Yeah, great, good. Yeah, good. What I'm talking about is here and now. He's not here anymore, is he? So that's that. With what is going on here, Marcus Rashford is not playing very well, but he doesn't want to take that on. Bruno is not playing very well.
I've got a question for you.
Go on,
Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
When is it we're going to stop talking about potential and start looking at him at his age now? He should be spoken about as he was spoken about as a youngster. He could be one of the best.
Well, he showed last season that he still is one of the best when he's playing well. He
is for 4 months of the year. That's what I think he'll always be. And I know it is disrespectful, but I don't even mean that in the worst way. I just think he's a purple patch player. I think he'll have half a season every year where he's just absolutely on fire, and you know, you just have times like now when it just sort of dulls down.
And Ten Hag is now in a position, right? And this is of his own doing, and you're the manager. But from his point of view, this is how I see it. He is afraid to tackle the Rashford and Bruno situation of them playing badly, because if he does in this moment, with all that's gone on, and he loses them two, he's in trouble. But the way he's taken off Rashford,
smart though, isn't it?
Kind of. But when the results ain't going well, not really. Do you know what I'm saying?
Then what do you do then?
Because he's taken off Rashford earlier each time.
But this is my sorry, Joe. This is my thing. Yeah, you can't have it both ways. You're saying about him tackling this situation wrongly in terms of he ain't addressing that Rashford's playing rubbish and so is Bruno and he need to come out of the team.
And he's shoehorning Bruno in as well.
And he's shoehorning Bruno in. But when I'm saying to you, as he dealt with the Sancho situation right, you can't have it both ways, that he's dealt with that right and it's having an effect on the team, but he's not dealing with this right and it's having an effect on the team. Where's he going to give? And this is why I talk about his ego. His ego has to give somewhere. And I would love to, and I think it'll be a travesty if Ten Hag does not see Højlund and Sancho together. I think Sancho complements Højlund. We saw Højlund's the type of player that which is like Haaland. I'm not comparing the two, but I'm talking about in terms of his stature. He's powerful.
He's an aggressive runner.
He's a target man. Yeah, like we saw his goal when he blew past the centre back with good power. That's what Sancho needs. Sancho ain't played with that in Manchester. No. He's not played with that.
Anton.
He needs that.
Anton. We'll say sorry. That. Anton. Say sorry and get back in the side.
I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that.
No, but he's like, I know we can go back to Flex. Do you really think that Ten Hag should have brought it into the forefront? Whatever. Cool. But if you're Jadon Sancho, you can say sorry and get back in the squad. Go and play with him then.
I'm not disputing that. However, one's got to give.
Sancho's never going to play for Man United again.
Of course, but then you write off 700.
Nah, mate,
you're writing off 75 million.
Joe, he's never going to play for Man United.
Do you know why he ain't saying sorry? You know why he ain't saying sorry.
Out.
No, he don't want out. He might want out, but I'll tell you why he's not saying sorry, because he is backing it at the minute that he's thinking, I'm here longer than you. How do you know that Sancho's not, he might be wrong in this, but he's probably sat there thinking, you've lost a few already in terms of players in this dressing room, yeah? No doubt he's lost to Harry Maguire. How much that matters, who knows? But Sancho's probably sat there thinking, you've lost a few already, one or two more and the whole dressing room turns, and soon I think you might be gone.
But
and I don't necessarily...
That's why he's not going for the Rashford and Bruno.
Go on.
I don't necessarily think that that's 1,000,000% going to happen. But exactly like you just said there might come a point in the road soon where he has to drop even more senior figures. And then all of a sudden they're going... Because a lot of these, say like players like Anthony Elanga come up through the academy and whatnot. If you work with someone every day, and if they've always worked for that same company, that same business, you're going to have close bonds with them. They've let them go. Harry Maguire, whatever he does on the pitch, he might be popular in the dressing room. Now Jadon Sancho, and Sancho's probably sitting there thinking 9 out of 10 times, who lasts longer, the manager or the player? 9 out of 10 times, it's the player. The player outlasts the manager most of the time. So Sancho's probably sat there thinking, all right, it's fine.
I said the same thing. And I listened to Joey because Joey's had many managers in his time, right? And I was saying to you and Rio and Anton and Jack, by the way, in the group chat, I started asking the question, do you reckon Sancho will play for United again? You said, nope, no chance. I'm like, but if Ten Hag leaves,
if he gets sacked as well,
and then you get in a new manager and he's coming with the unity and he wants to utilize his squad to the maximum and he rates Jadon Sancho, he's gonna say, that's not my problem, mate. You can work your way back into the team.
Absolutely, that's true, and time will tell if Joey's theory, which 100%.
It was my theory in the WhatsApp group chat, but you ignored me when it was
because I don't agree with you. because I don't think Ten Hag's going to get sacked.
Really?
I don't think he's going to get sacked. Okay. Another person I have to talk about, though, is Andre Onana.
Wait. Give us the rest of your reasons really quickly before you start going. Is he your third reason or fourth? What is he?
Ten Hag signings. Recruitment.
Okay, so that's free.
Recruitment is free.
This is where he's in trouble. Sorry, this is where Ten Hag.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like we could just do a whole show on it. I'm trying to make it not be that.
I know, but I'm just saying. Give me your points. So because you've done 2, you've done 3.
Yeah.
Give me the rest of your 2 then.
So after the recruitment, obviously injuries need to help.
Yeah.
This ain't in order, by the way, is it?
No. Okay. And ownership needs to change, because realistically, until
he's blaming the owners.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's just being realistic. Until Man United is so rotten,
I agree.
that until there is a whole reset, and I mean from right at the top, we could sack Ten Hag tomorrow, and I could tell you now, Man United will go to Brighton or someone like that and say, give us De Zerbi. Brighton will go, we've been here before with Potter, 40 million. Get him out mid-contract, whatever you want to do. And De Zerbi will walk into Man United, get a tune out of some players for a little bit, want to undo the stuff that Ten Hag's done, bring in some other players, and it'll all fall to shit within a certain amount of time under this ownership. So I'm not doing the the feel sorry for us because of the owners thing, because essentially I've just been telling you guys about what's happening now. There's nothing to do with Glazers, but overall, the structure of that football club is rotten from the top all the way through down to at Carrington, all the way down to a match day, all the way down to anything. But just quickly on Andre Onana as well. And again, this is another reason why Ten Hag is in a bad position, because like you said, Anton, a lot of the decisions that he's made have been praised. Fair enough, how you dealt with a lot of things. You know, a few months ago, we were saying how well he's done in his first season, considering a lot of stuff. Yeah. So I give him credit for that. But don't get a free pass. You said, and Man United fans, me included, I'm not above this, that's time for De Gea to leave. He's making too many mistakes, and even the shot-stopping element is gone. And he's just throwing it in the net now. Let's move on. I was part of that. Took me ages to get there. But it was the West Ham game, ironically, where I went, yeah, we can't move forward like this.
What are you saying? You're ringing him now?
Listen. KG said on our channel, he goes, listen, he's dropping him a little eyes emoji to say, what, are you awake? Sort of thing. Are you up? Yeah? I'm not saying that, but what I will say is, though, Onana, I am massively worried about him. Massively. I want to back him, and I will try to continue to, but I would be lying if I said that I was 100% confident in how this is going to turn out. Even saves, even shots, right? That anything that goes within his vicinity, I'm worried that he's not going to save it. You look at some of the goals that have gone in where he's near it. His whole technique, I'm not a goalkeeping expert, his whole technique of even how he dives to get near a ball, it just looks off. And every single goal that's scored, you look at it, and your first thought is, ooh, that looks a bit off. That looks off. I had a conversation, with Peter Schmeichel before the game. That's our legend. Do you know what I mean? Depending on what Man United fan you talk to, he's the greatest goalkeeper of all time, or it's Van der Sar. Of course, Alex Stepney back in the day, but it's Schmeichel or it's Van der Sar, And he said to me, Flex, he's got a lot to prove, put it that way. That was before, and he was explaining to me about some of the saves and the mechanics of like how he hasn't got there and it doesn't look quite right. That was before the game. And then you see that on top of the evidence that we've seen before, you're looking for this emphasis on distribution. I'm sorry, we're worse. We're worse. So I'm not writing him off, but I am massively, massively worried that move and that decision to get rid of De Gea and Dean Henderson and bring in Bayern and Onana could go down as one of the biggest downgrades we've ever seen.
You know when you said, De Gea had to leave?
Yeah.
Leave's the word there that I think like, well, hold on. He's still without a club now, So it's not like he's gone on to play first team football anyway. Could he have not sat on a bench? Could you have not still got Onana in and then had De Gea there? Because ultimately, like, I'm looking at Onana, he looks like, and look, what do we know? We don't know what's going on inside people's heads, but he looks emotionally immature. Like I was mentioning the point before, about the hammering. I know it's pre-season, but the hammering he gave Harry Maguire in front of the cameras on pitch and whatever. And to use an analogy, it's like me in a boxing match, start showboating in the first and second round when I know the opponent comes on strong late. He should have had the emotional maturity to realise, even in that moment, maybe don't give him a right hammering now, because this league I'm about to come into, it ain't a Dutch league, and even it ain't Italy, you know what I mean? There's going to be some sticky moments for me in here. Things like that are coming back to bite him in the behind a little bit as well. Do you know what I mean? Because he's making howler after howler at the minute, isn't he?
He is, and proper howlers to the point where it's not even just bad saves. Look at this, 17 times he lost the ball. 56.8 passing accuracy.
So that means half the time he's passing it inaccurately.
This is what I'm saying.
But that was his thing. That was his thing, wasn't it? That was the sell. That was the sell with him.
And I said before, even when I was backing Onana, because I want him to do well, he will not make one save this year where we have our hands on our head and our mouth dropping down and go, how on earth did he save that? David De Gea will give you 5 of them a year. Minimum. Where you go, bloody hell, Man United got away with one today, but Dave saves. Look at that.
Yeah, you wanted him out.
David De Gea's mistakes that he made last year, it clouded a lot of you and your fan base judgment on him.
Do you know what?
They were big mistakes, get it, but you had the most clean sheets last year.
But it weren't just
it weren't
just last season though. It was like for the last maybe 18 months. So I can understand.
I don't mind moving him on.
Yeah, no. I can understand.
But the choice of who you chose to bring in because of him,
it's true.
You've misprofiled him, bro.
I think you and
not good.
I think you and Joey are both right, Flex, because I think he didn't necessarily have to leave. I think the only problem is because of financial fair play, you know, and what he's on. He was willing to take a pay cut, but it's hard to have a number 2. He still would have been on big dough for a number 2. So I think maybe
you're trying
that's...
to say that Erik ten Hag ain't Arteta and have 2 good goalkeepers. Is that what you're saying?
I weren't before, but now I am.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But, you know, we'll talk about our goalkeepers.
I'm surprised you didn't bring that up.
But you got to remember as well. Like,
What do you mean, mate? Their keeper's flipping coming, supposed to be number 1. He's giving it to the opposition and Lens are going and scoring.
That's why I said
so they're like, get Ramsdale back in.
That's why I said transition onto Arsenal.
But like I said, listen, man, you know, that was a blip yesterday. The difference is, if you really want to be serious, where United and Arsenal are at the moment is you look at a game, Flex, and no one's made noise for Arsenal losing the Champions League because Man United has got so many problems that you might not make your group, but make it out of your group.
I don't think we'll get out of the group.
You got to be, is it Copenhagen twice?
We have to beat Copenhagen back to back. That's the next 2 Champions League games. If you don't do that, then forget it.
You've got to potentially you need a draw against Bayern.
That's the last game. It's Galatasaray away.
Do you know what I mean?
Listen, there were 3,000 Galatasaray fans. Actually, more than that because they took over the whole stadium and took the piss out of us. But there were 3,000 in the away end, giving it before the game.
I'm going to tell you now. I'm going to tell you.
November, Galatasaray away, Istanbul.
I've played there. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard place to go.
Oh yeah, you have. Yeah,
it's a hard place to go.
Jesus.
And with the mentality of your players,
soft.
Walking out of that tunnel, walking towards the tunnel, seeing on the walls, "Welcome to hell, no way out." That's what, because they're
sounds like Fort Park, right, bro?
Because they're
Jesus.
They're red and yellow. It's like fire, isn't it? It's the colours of fire.
They said, "Welcome to hell."
Welcome to hell. There's no way out in a tunnel.
And they got a new stadium since you.
No, and that's the same
you played in a
stadium.
new one as well.
Yeah.
What was it like? What was it like? The fans, the atmosphere of the fans.
You obviously witnessed it yesterday, but you see the way they build up a team and build up to a game.
Yeah.
Every player has to go and acknowledge the fans.
They was doing this thing. They were going, they were going Zaha, and then he runs over. He goes like that.
He has to go acknowledge.
Hey.
You got to do 3 fist pumps.
Every man in the warm up.
If they call your name and you don't go, they'll boo you.
I looked at that, Anton.
It's mad.
I looked at that and I went, that's amazing.
Imagine 60,000 people doing it. Imagine 60,000 people. You're warming up. You're warming up, yeah? Imagine you're warming up. And there's 60,000 people screaming your name, wanting you to come and give them some energy. And then when you give them the energy, they give it you back. Imagine.
They were going, Mertens.
Until he comes.
And he was just doing kick-ups, doing the thing. And he go, right, guys, I just need to leave this little rondo. Goes over to the away end, And he runs, waving over, saying, I've seen you. Oh, Ray. I goes, is this have they won the game already? I was going, what's going on here?
It's intimidating.
I was intimidated in OT.
It's wicked. It's mad.
In OT. And then they took the mick because there was loads of subsections of Galatasaray fans staying in there partying because they'd missold the tickets. You know when the away fans get in the thing? They were taking it. I was next to the director's box, And usually the director's box is like prim, proper, you know what I mean? They were doing all their songs.
Yeah.
Director's box. Big Sir Alex sitting there, bro. Big John Murto and that. You man are just... You're just taking a piss out of us.
Even when
so basically, Galatasaray away, I don't fancy.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you.
Even when, like, say they win a game at home, or it'd be before the game, before they go in for the warm-up, their main player may stand in the middle of the pitch and you do this thing and they go, 1, 2, 3, ooh, bang, and the whole place goes mad. They were doing it yesterday after the game.
Yeah, they was.
But they do it at home, player stands in the middle of the pitch.
What were you feeling? Were you like, ooh?
I loved it. I loved it because I used to do it for Bursaspor. So I knew on both ends, going into a place like Fenerbahce, going into Galatasaray, the atmosphere is different. You're going to war. Fact. There's no other way to look at it. When you step into Galatasaray Stadium and you're walking, you're going, right, it says welcome to hell. There's no way out.
Can I ask you a question? Did it say it in Turkish and you went to someone?
No.
What does that say?
No. Welcome to hell.
In English.
English. Welcome to hell.
Oh, nuts. Yeah, so listen.
Different.
That was a long time on Man United, which was always going to happen. But it could have been a whole show. But let's move on.
Wait, what's your next game?
Brentford at home.
Oh, that's a tough game, bro.
Every game's a tough game for them at the moment.
Yeah, every game's a tough game, mate.
Go on.
Let's move on to the PGMOL. And
Disgrace.
the aftermath of the Liverpool Spurs fallout. They released the audio, the highly anticipated audio from that absolute catastrophe of events at the London's at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Liverpool. Sorry, Joey. When you heard the audio, obviously we all know they made a royal mess of it, so we know that it was. But when you see how they got to the conclusion of the wrong decision, what was your thoughts on that?
Do you know what? I just think, like, where does common sense come into it? Because, say, for example, there's a part in the audio where they realise they've made a mistake, and then they're saying, try and stop the game now, and they're going, the game's resumed, and you hear one of them going, I can't. You can. You're in charge. Whether or not you're breaking the rules yet, at that point, it's damage limitations. It's about how can I make this less of a situation? No matter what, we're coming under fire here. So even if the game has carried on going, and look, they can see what's going on in the game. They're very fortunate to be able to, or they could have been very fortunate to be able to look at the game and go, right, okay, we haven't had a shot on target since, the ball's been around the middle of the pitch. We can blow the whistle right now. Are we going to get hammered? Yeah, but does it create the same media storm potentially that this is now going to create? No. And they knew straight away. Like, we was watching the match and I was watching it and I thought it was onside, wasn't it? But then even the coverage of it doesn't then show, doesn't draw the lines, doesn't show anything. And I'm like, they've brushed on from that quick.
That was mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
With Gary Neville, those guys that talk about things like properly.
Yeah.
And it weren't brought up.
Questionable.
It wasn't even brought up that half. Like,
no, they spoke about it with 10 seconds remaining, with around 10 to 15 seconds remaining of their broadcast time.
That's mad.
And then they, you know what I mean? Oh, we got to go to the game now. You're thinking that's the biggest talking part of the game.
Yeah. With the thing they were saying about, I can't now intervene, I don't know. Look, I know how I personally feel on it, but I'd love to ask you lot, what would you rather? Would you rather we be in this situation right now where we've got even Jurgen Klopp now coming out and saying the game might need to be replayed, and say, for example, come the end of the season, if Liverpool are there or thereabouts and there's only a point or two in it, that could be pivotal in how the title goes this season? Or would you rather that they made a bit of a blunder, the game resumed for a minute, which I don't think it has done before, and then the referee blows the whistle and says, look, I've got to give the goal, sort of thing?
Either way, it's a big talking point, Joey.
Either way it is, but I think the latter is the more sensible
and that's
thing to do.
as well. But even if that happened, because it's something that hasn't happened and it's outside of the rules, as we spoke about earlier on, right? You still would have had like big news. But I think what this has done now,
your credibility is intact though.
Yeah, now I think the difference is now they might be forced. I don't know if they'll do it, but they might be forced now to be in a situation where we have to hear what the referees are saying. This is how impactful this situation has been now. Before they could say, no, following the referees, we're doing X, Y, and Z, but now the pressure is on them like never before. So come end of the season or whenever they're going to review it, mate, it's going to be like nothing we've ever seen before.
You know what the thing is? Imagine Liverpool miss out on Champions League or miss out on beating Man City to the title by 3 points or 1 point. Imagine.
It's massive.
Imagine.
This happened before, even when VAR weren't even there.
But imagine this happens. There's going to be uproar. There is going to be uproar. Because Liverpool will go to town with it. They are. But this just shows you, when we talk about, and this, I'm going to points off topic, but this just shows you, if you mess with a club's money, they will deal with the situation properly. That's what this shows you. Yeah. So when any form of discrimination or something happens on a football pitch that shouldn't, it tells you how to deal with it. Mess with a team's money and mess with a team's points, which is money to them, and it gets dealt with properly. That's what because if something happens where Liverpool miss out on something because they didn't get them 3 points,
huge. They
are gonna go for it. Let's have it right. They're gonna go for it. 100%. They're gonna go for it. So I just think it's highlighting all these issues that we have in the game. I think it's highlighting ways to deal with situations. And again, use the word common sense. A lot of it is common sense.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Like, it wasn't like Tottenham were just about to score a goal.
out for a throw.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was out for a throw.
There's no reason why you can't just go. There's no reason why you can't just go. Stop there. We need to make sure and do the check properly. There's no reason. There's no reason why they couldn't do that.
And we was mentioning, like we're talking there about the most obvious sort of point, which is the Liverpool side of things. The ramifications go a lot deeper than that. Spurs are going to be in the Champions League race if they pip someone to that potentially. You know, we see it. I was saying this earlier. We see it in seasons gone by, long before VAR. Do you remember the court case over the Tevez goal for West Ham that kept him up and whatnot? Like, there's so many different ramifications that this can then go into, and it sort of just says the question, like, is VAR making anything better? Like, all you're doing, because you're not doing... All right, you can draw lines, whatever. We've got goal line technology. All you're doing is shirking responsibility. You're saying, I can't make the decision here. I'm going to pass it on to you. But we've got no confidence that the person you're passing it on to is going to be any better at making that decision. So then when you factor in the way it slows the game down and the way that fans can't react to a goal and stuff like that because they don't know whether they're then going to get, taken the mickey out of because they've reacted to a goal that's been ruled out. There's so many negatives. And like any situation, when you have to review it, you've got to go, okay, do the positives outweigh the negatives? And now we're getting to a point where we're going, I don't know, I don't know if the positives of VAR are outweighing the negatives.
Only, but literally because of incompetence.
Yeah.
Like, the VAR is a video that just gets to show you what just happened.
Yeah. So
you can get to the right choice. It gave them the conclusive evidence to make the right decision, and they still made the wrong one. That's not even VAR's fault. All VAR is a replay. I know it's a video assistant referee and someone's got to look at it and say, right, that means this and give me the lines. But essentially, it's a replay. Yeah. So we can take our time and go, that's wrong. Give that or give this. And the integrity of the game from that has just been absolutely...
I just can't believe there's no ownership. I just can't believe there's no ownership on it. But I understand...
Well, they have. They said there's human error.
I'm talking about the person. Like... There's 4 or 5 people talking in that room, and not one of them has taken ownership to go, no, you're doing this.
Yeah, because it's like me saying, Anton, but are you happy with this decision? Because we've said it wrong. We need to stop the game, Anton.
Exactly.
No.
Who's the boss in there that needs to take ownership?
No, but when that bloke's going, are you happy with that? Yeah. Why is he asking that question?
Yeah, he said you should not be happy with this.
Why is he asking it? Because he knows it's wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So don't say, are you happy with that? Go, nah, mate, that's not right.
But you know what? It's easy for him to ask that question. Are you happy with that? Because if he says yes, now I'm out of the
responsibility.
No responsibility. I'm now out of it.
It's a blind lead in the blind.
Exactly.
It is.
That's the problem.
Get involved. Let us know what you guys think about that statement and the state of VAR at the moment. Of course, pretty much know what your thoughts are going to be on that. Massive game coming up for Arsenal, for AFC against Manchester City. They took their first loss of the season last night against Lens. The big talking point, though, is the star boy, Saka. He's had to come off injured. A lot of Arsenal fans I saw saying, this is Arteta's fault. He's already coming back from a little injury. Why did you play him against Lens? We got City coming up. You're a Wally. Why did you do that? Also, some talking about the goalkeeper sort of thing, talking about not enough quality up front as well. Did you need to get another goalkeeper? Why didn't you get another striker? All of those things, Joel. Saka coming off injured.
I want to start off, first of all, you said that's the first loss of our season, right? And I'll tell you what, it's also credit to Arsenal because during the course of the season, we've had some really bad results that felt like losses. Now, that shows where we are as a club. Fulham felt like a loss. I was in a group chat saying, I can't believe we lost to Fulham, even though it's 1 point. You know what I mean? I still treated it like a loss.
I was down.
Oh,
no, you was down after North London derby.
Yeah, the Spurs one, I treated it like a loss. And that's because we actually have expectations now of where we think the club should be. So I'm not saying it's a good thing we lost against Lens, but it shows how far we've gone. And when you look at the Lens game, I think if you're Michail Arteta and you've got those good bunch of players, a good squad, good people, like you say, Declan Rice's, Gabriel Jesus, all these guys that want to do well, Saka's, you go to the boys, there you go, mate, that's the Champions League. And if you've got a good bunch of players, they're going to look and go, oh, you know what, maybe we took them lightly. Oh, you know what, we're not going to do that going forward. So I actually believe this loss is going to help us going forward because the way we smashed PSV, they could be thinking like I was in my stories on IG going, Champions League's easy, it's easy. But the reality is, it's not.
Especially away.
Oh, you do love to jump the gun.
But, well,
You do
this is
nothing.
why I'm Joel Bayer and I'm here, and
Okay.
Michail Arteta is over there doing what he's
Okay,
doing. All right.
okay.
So moving it on to Saka's injury.
It's Arteta's fault. Not that he got injured, but should
believe,
Saka have not
yes.
started that
No,
game?
yeah, I believe it's not just that game. I believe if you look at how he's been managed in the last 3 years, I don't agree. I've never agreed with it. I think we have great support on the left-hand side, where I mean players that naturally play on the left. So if it's not Martinelli, we've got Trossard who can play there or he can play as a false nine. You've got Emile Smith-Rowe who loves to come in from the left. You've got
Reece Nelson.
You got Reece Nelson who loves to predominantly come in from the left. Yes, he can do on the right, but he's better on the left. On the right-hand side, I don't know what the relationship is with Pepe and the gaffer, so I can't really comment on it, but I would have actually kept Pepe Jeans, if I'm honest with you, because I feel like he offers something a little bit different. And if, for example, it's a character thing and the manager hasn't wanted to keep him in, then fair enough. But if it's like an ego thing or whatever it is, then I don't agree with that, because I think he is someone. Does he want to be a Saka understudy? I don't know, but I think the manager's got more leverage because of how well the squad is doing. I don't know how we don't have an understudy for Saka, a proper one.
Yeah, even a youngster,
someone, and so that goes on to that. You're talking about, what's the next thing that you spoke about?
Obviously City coming up.
I think it's a massive blow now because Saka's not playing, but I have had the chance to speak to a few City fans and they think you might do us this Sunday. They genuinely think that we ain't got Rodri. Obviously, KDB, I know he's injured long term, but that's still huge. And obviously,
back-to-back losses.
Back-to-back losses. But at the same time, I asked one of my guys, I said, Ben, are you worried, Ben? He goes, no, not at all. He goes, why? Yeah. He goes, why? He goes, we don't kick until January anyway. So I thought...
And they've won every game up until this last little bit.
I thought, he's right. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I still think we're going to challenge them all the way. But...
Did it give you a realization that you are far away from them?
I think everyone's far away from City. If you think about it, I think if this is another era where it's not the City dominance. I didn't ask
everyone. I said you.
I think everyone.
I
think everyone,
you.
Anton.
But I'm asking you.
But I think everyone.
This
Anton.
ain't narrative time. I'm asking you.
Stop. Why do you come up
Joel
with this
Sunak,
thing?
can you answer the question, please? Joel Sunak. Joel Sunak, order in the House of Commons. Can you answer the question, please? He's asking about your teammate.
Your team.
And I answered him.
What did you say?
I said, I think everyone's far away from
Joel.
City.
Arsenal far away
You
from
take
City.
that how you want to take it. Moving on.
Look at this. What do you guys think? Joey, what are you saying? Arsenal against City might be without Saka. Never know. He might make a miraculous recovery. Might still play. Don't know. Yeah. Who you got for that?
Do you know what? I would go City in that. I know it's the obvious option, but I was saying this earlier. A lot of people can look at the fact that City have now lost a game and lost back-to-back games, which is mad to think. And a lot of people would go, well, it's a good time to play them. I'd say when you've got a team full of mentality monsters, that's the worst time to play them. Do you know what I mean? Because they lost to Arsenal in the Community Shield. Obviously, they're coming off the back of the Newcastle loss and then the... Who did they lose to the other day? Wolves. Yeah, they're coming off the back of the Newcastle loss and the Wolves loss. And now I'm saying it's wounded animal time, innit? This is where they roll their sleeves up and they go, no, we're the treble winners for a reason. We've won 3 out of the last 3 Premier League titles for a reason. And we're going to go out here and get a statement win here to show that, we're in the most competitive country of football in the world. And that's why you can take losses. But we'll just show you in a big game now exactly what we're about. And that's not discrediting Arsenal. I do think that Arsenal and Liverpool are the closest to City, in my opinion. But I'd have to agree, really. I think between all of them, there's a bit of a gulf when it comes to City. And maybe in one-off games, it can change. But over the course of a 38-game season, you'd always fancy
one-off game on Saturday. When is it? Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday. I'm saying City.
Arsenal at the Emirates.
You're saying City?
I'm saying City in that game, Yeah, I'm saying City in that game.
I think there's a leveller. In the sense that Rodri's not there, he's probably their most important player, and Saka's not there on
so
Sunday,
they might
potentially
catch
not
each other
there.
out.
I think there's a bit of both teams. Well, one team's definitely missing their best player, their most important player.
Haaland's not really firing like that, is he?
Yeah, but
don't need to be.
But he's
any moment
he can just go bang.
I'm looking at the last 2 games.
That's why no one's taking him out of their fantasy, because at any time he could just go bang.
You ain't taking him out of yours, have you, Joe?
That's a good
It's
point.
a fact.
You ain't taking him out of yours, have you, Joe?
Yeah, and I think
you ain't taking him out. Joe, have you taken him out of your fantasy or not?
Bro, let the man speak. Anton.
Look at
Carry on, Anton.
You won't even admit.
And then Saka, obviously, potentially. I think Arteta could be playing mind games. I think he could be playing mind games potentially. But if he isn't and Saka's out, it's a massive blow for Arsenal. However, this game depends on how Odegaard plays, I think. With not having Rodri, without having Rodri, Captain Odegaard has to step up.
Like he did against Man United.
Yeah. Yes. He needs to.
Good. It's all right doing it against the little boys. We ain't nothing, mate. Yeah. Don't try and look at mid-table Man United now. And this is for the elite. This game's the elite. This is the juggernauts going for the league, mate. Yeah. So it ain't about Man United. This is about Odegaard doing it now. Because in the North London derby, he didn't play.
I think personally, it's going to be a score draw.
2-2?
Huh?
2-2?
Dixon a 2-2, yeah. I'd say, for the simple reason I think there's goals in this game. There always is goals in this game. Both teams love to attack. City off the back of 2 losses. I just see a score draw. I think the fact that Pep's giving you your manager and players to try and make it competitive for himself.
Nice of him.
I think he's gonna.
Why is looking at him?
Because every time he speaks, I think, what are West Ham doing? You know, that's what I think. You know, when he speaks and I think, where are West Ham doing?
Hey,
what are you
We're
doing?
lifting trophies, man. We're lifting trophies.
What are West Ham doing?
What are you doing?
You always find a way. He's doing his analysis. I'm following him, and he just finds a way.
I just think, what are West Ham doing? You're living a life right now.
West Ham are lifting trophies.
West Ham lifting trophies, yeah. Now, when we go on the street with Anton, yeah, there's more West Ham fans are popping out of nowhere. We was outside, West Ham, big West Ham fan. I'm like, really? Here? In Central?
Massive club. Massive club, mate.
All of a sudden, like his picture request has increased. I think, get out of here, man. But you had a quick question before we go, though. Sorry to cut you off, Anton.
No, wait. Joe, hold on a minute. To the viewer. I'm going to tell you what West Ham are doing. Lifting trophies. What trophy did you lift last year?
The season still carrying on.
No, last year.
This season.
Last season.
I can only talk about this season.
No. Let's talk about last season.
We can't.
Why?
Because we're in this season.
No, because you didn't pick up anything. What you done was walk around with a baby one. That's over there, by the way.
Can we bring it, Joe? Can you get that for us?
All we done was you walk around with this. Yeah.
Ain't been out for a while. This. It's bad.
This. Yeah. All right.
It's the fact that it's still in the studio.
You should have really got rid of it properly.
So that's what West Ham were doing, and this is what Joel Bale was doing.
Yeah.
Right. I was on a what's it called?
The tour.
The tour bus with a trophy.
With your little man. You know what I mean?
With my son. And Joel Bale was sitting here with this. That's what he was doing, this. So that's what West Ham were doing compared to Arsenal last year.
I think he showed you the difference. Just quickly though, Joel, before we do this last question, really quickly for me, I've got Arsenal for that.
So do I.
I fancy Arsenal. I think they're gonna finally.
I don't believe you, Flex.
3-1, 3-2.
Flex, I don't believe you. I think you're saying that. So if they do win, you don't get no heat next week.
Well, how am I not? Well, that was nothing to do with me.
No, because Man United lose and Arsenal win, you get mad heat. But if you said but I said Arsenal going to win, there's not much heat on you. That's why you said it.
Mystic Flex.
You know what I mean?
I just think this is finally Arsenal's time.
You don't want the Miami heat.
I don't. I just think it's Arsenal's time to finally avenge themselves against City and get the W. I think City are in a little dodgy patch. I think the Emirates will be rocking. They'll be up for it.
Agreed.
And I think they'll nick it.
And they'll get put in a full sense of security, I think.
If they win, that could happen,
100%. That's what's going to happen. We're going to see Joel with the fake Premier League again after that win.
Just really quickly, Ollie Watkins or Ivan Toney, both 27 years of age.
Ooh.
I just really wanted to...
I didn't know Watkins was that old, you know.
I know, neither did I.
I thought he was like 2 years younger.
Yeah. So you're looking for a striker, especially Ivan Toney keeps popping up all the time. Chelsea, I know Nkunku's injured and that, but you know, kind of looking for a 9. Nico Jackson's done okay, but Baroja's come in. A bit of, you could do with one, yeah? Joey, who are you taking? If I said to you right now, you got money to spend, Well, you do have money to spend in Chelsea.
Got a lot of money to spend.
Got a lot of money to spend. You've got £1 billion to spend, right? Who are you taking? Watkins or Toney?
If we're going purely on what they can do on the pitch,
back you into a corner. Who are you taking?
Nah, it's not easy, but if we're going purely on what they can do on the pitch, and we're not going on price tag and whatnot, because one's more in demand than the other, and that means the price is going to be driven up.
You don't need a price tag. It don't matter.
We don't
£1 billion. You don't need a price tag.
Well, you checking the price about price tag? I love that.
I'm very concerned about the spending. No, I'd go Ivan Toney. I would, because listen, you're picking between two really, really good players, and obviously it's easier to probably favour Watkins at the minute because Ivan Toney's not in a shop window with his performances, so to speak. But I just look at, do you know Ivan Toney? Like, I look at him and I don't know whether it's just because he's quiet or whatever, but I just think like he's got a cold mentality. Do you know what I mean? And I think like Chelsea have got a number 9 curse, man. And I look at mentality as a big thing coming in, a Diego Costa, a Didier Drogba, that sort of player in that mould, I'm not comparing him to the two, but I'm saying mentality-wise, I think he'd maybe cope with that sort of pressure of the reliance upon him a little bit, step up to the plate, puff his chest out, and I think that's something I'd look for. So I'd go Ivan Toney.
Would Watkins be better for Arsenal than Toney would be for Arsenal?
I think footballing-wise, I think Watkins will come in and he would do what he needs to do. Do you know what I mean? He's going to run. Yeah. He's like a Gabriel Jesus, but maybe with better goal-scoring ability. However, at the same time, I hear exactly what Joey's saying. I think mentality-wise, I think Ivan Toney comes in and he don't give arrogance as well. Damn.
Be at the big
but the problem is if it goes left, that guy's cussing the club. Everyone, do you know what I mean?
Advertising himself.
Honestly, he moves like he don't care.
I respect it. It's his career.
So, but that's the thing though. Do you want that potential problem at your club? Do you know what I mean? The thing that we've got right now, which is good, is there's only one boss. Michail Arteta is the boss, and I think that's one of the best things he's done. We could talk about the football, we could talk about whatever. There's one boss. Well,
you think he could overstep the mark?
I'll tell you one thing. He won't be able to go Man United. Ten Hag will want him out within a month.
Nah, because we've got Oiler, mate. You've seen the kid. You've seen the kid, mate. He's better than Antonio, mate. You know what I mean?
Big up
he's
Antonio.
He's better. Yeah, big up Antonio. What happened to your boy, man? You say you're going to, you know what I mean, beat Liverpool's, be a finish above him and that. Couldn't score from 6 yards, mate.
Listen, if you're going to talk like that, you got to deliver on the pitch, man.
I don't think Antonio cares, because I was with him at an award show a couple of days ago. And he said straight on stage, we're finishing above Man United.
Listen,
why do you keep...
You know what the man says?
He don't care. He don't care.
Do you know what the man says?
Do you
know what the man says? He needs his props, because my man, he was not a striker.
Was he a right back?
He was a right winger.
He was a winger at Sheffield.
Wing back. He wasn't a striker. My man's gone up top in the Premier League and made that his position.
He's had an England, like, I don't know if he's got capped, but I know he's definitely been called into Jamaica.
Then he changed to Jamaica. There was talk of England, and then he changed and switched to Jamaica.
Also, look how many strikers have come in at West Ham as well. That's supposed to be still there.
And I remember I went to a game and I took a young player with me to a game. And I said, Michail, can you come and speak to this young player, please? He's having a bit of a tough time with the club he's at. You know what his words were? Believe in yourself. I've had many a number 9s come in at this football club, and it's felt like it's my time's done. We know what Wrighty was saying. It's time to get my boot. I'm going to leave a pair of boots there. I'm going to know which ones I'm going to take. Where he's felt like that, but he's going, you know what? I'm going to roll my sleeves up. I'm going to make sure people know this is my spot. And the only way I could do that was believe in myself. So any young kid watching, believe in yourself, because Antonio did, and look at him. Absolutely. He's West Ham's highest Premier League goal scoring striker.
Really?
It's mad, that, isn't it? Oh, wow. Yeah. Big up, Antonio. Listen, guys, thanks for watching the show. There's a lot going on in it. Joel's just, he's being Joel, isn't it? He's being Joel. Hopefully he's kissing that on Monday morning when he's on Vibe with 5, mate. Yeah. Big up to Joey, big up to Anton, big up to you guys for watching. Get involved in the comments below. See you same time, same place next week, guys. Peace.